So for this, we'll start from how to reach to the page. We have this home nav tab button at the top, which on click of which we'll see this drop down from where we can select the analyst view. Upon selecting it, we'll see a dashboard which will have all sorts of out of the box widgets. So this analyst dashboard provides a high level overview of current threat landscape in your environment, presenting platform-wide detection and indicators generated by Netwitness platform. Analysts can use this dashboard to monitor the severity, frequency of security events, identify potential threats, and drill down into the details of further investigation. The dashboard consists of several out-of-box widgets that display different aspects of data. So starting from the top, we have the first incident overview widget, which will be covered in manager view demo. Moving on to the next, we have MITRE Overview Widget. So this widget includes tactic and techniques, describe the adversarial actions and behavior. So there will be data such as logs, endpoint packets, and active contents deployed in your environment. Such as an application rule and ISA rules to help you provide relevant MITRE attack content for these rules and show the complete coverage. This helps the analyst to view details information on tactics, techniques, and even sub-techniques. On click of each of these techniques, we can see there are whatever sub-techniques present under this drop-down on click of this button. We also have a filter option here for the medium packet endpoint, on selection of which the packet one is highlighted and others are not. And we can also filter on content type. We also have an option here to expand all sub-techniques, on click of which all the sub-techniques will be expanded by default. We have the color coding here, which will say deployed, partially deployed, not deployed, and unavailable. Each of these color code denotes these values. We have the scrollable option here to see all the techniques, and we can also scroll horizontally to view rest of the tactics. Like this. And moving on to the next widgets. First is global retention. So global retention widget provides a comprehensive summary of maximum retention period available for queries related to meta, log, and packets. This widget enables analysts to avoid missing any data in their queries by indicating the lowest retention among the decoders. For example, if one decoder has 25 days of retention while the other have 30, the global retention would be 25. We see here raw available data, meta available data, and packets and logs as well. We have an all button, on click of which we'll get a model pop-up which will have tabs to select from either raw or metadata. And we have an export button which will export the file in the CSV format. Moving on to the next widget is incident and alert, which will again covered in the manager view demo. Moving on to the next, we have top suspicious files. So top suspicious files list down the top 25 risky files with the highest risk score detected in your endpoint. Each row will have file name, risk score, and the count of the host. The result displays the host of all the endpoint server if broker is available. Otherwise, it displays the first of the endpoint server. So we can select the endpoint server from the configuration button from these three dots. And whatever data source for the endpoint server are available, it will be listed down here. After selecting, we can just click on save and it will show the data from that server. We can also click on these files links, which will take us to the file details page, and the all link will take us to the global files page where we can see all the files of this. Then moving on to the next widget, we have top suspicious endpoint. So for top suspicious endpoint, it displays the list the top 25 default count is 25, and suspicious endpoint it will list down on the highest risk score and the operating system with IP address, last active user, and location. Each hostname will be listed down with the link, which will take us to the host details page. We can also sort in this table data for the operating system, active user, and location. We also have a pagination option here. If we have selected more than 25, we'll see that pagination count. And on the click on configuration, we can select the data source, same as the files, and the number of result. By default, which will be 25, we can select how many we want and click on save. To the next widget, which is top suspicious user. For this, we are listing top 5 hosts top 5 users sorted by the highest risk score. Each user will have a link which will take us to the UEBA page for this particular user. Each user will be denoted with a color which can be used to see in this graph plotting against a trending risk score with the weekly or the daily trend. This graph on each of the highlight point we can see the name of the user and the trending score at the point of that time. We have an option for the all which will take us to the UEBA page. Also on click of configuration, we can select the data sources present for this UEBA and the time range. So we have two options, 24 hours and 7 day, which will be weekly or the daily trend. By select the daily trend, it will plot the chart according to the daily trend available. Moving to the next widget, we have latest First Watch Block. So this widget will list down the top 10 blocks from the Netwitness Community portal. The list is sorted based on the block creation date, and each block is displayed with an icon along with the title and the paragraph of the block. There will be an icon with the time of the blog, and on the link click of this header of the blog, it will take us to the Netwitness Community blog, and on click of the all button, again it will take us to the Netwitness Community blog where we can see all the blogs. Moving to First Watch a threat logic update widget. So this widget will show us 12 content, latest uploaded content. This list will be sorted with the based on the content uploaded date. We'll have the tag here which will show the content type, one more link for the content name, and just the time. We can click on the tag as well as the link which will take us to the content type and the content data. There is an option also to click on all, which will take us to the live search page. Moving to the last two widgets. So first one is the events widget. I'll start with the configuration here for this because most of the things we can configure here, and then accordingly the widget will be displayed. So by default, the number of the count will be 25 days. The time range will be 7 days. The name of the widget is for this particular widget, we are giving flexibility to add a name of this widget. So after the events, the new name will be added, whatever we have given here. There are selection for the data source as well present in this system. The meta key will be used to plot the graph and the table, and also the query. There is an option to select visualization type. By default, bar will be selected always. So we'll see the bar chart, which will be plotted against the session count. So event widget will have the events occurred in that particular meta query for the specific time in our environment. We can say the name coming here and the time we have selected coming at the top of the widget. We also have an all link here which will take us to the investigate page, and the configuration whatever we have selected accordingly the events will be shown, and each event once we click on this link which will take us to the events for this particular investigate page for this event with applied filters. And we can sort the table data as well. We have a pagination here as well. If the data is more than 25, we can add the we can move along the pages. Coming to the last widget of us, this is top discovered assets, which will list all the top discovered assets according to the network exposure rank. This enables the analyst to gain a comprehensive understanding of an asset significance and within the network enterprise network, and identify potential risk and threats associated with the assets that required immediate action. For this, we are again showing the same as events, a graph and a table. By default, this will be a donut chart, but we can configure again from this and select a bar chart. Now I have selected a bar chart, but the donut chart will look like this. And there will be also an option for the number of results, which will be again by default 25. So if we do that, we'll see the donut chart, and on hover of these, we can see the values and the name of this risky assets. In the table we have asset IP and network exposure rank and the first scene. We can sort according to the first scene, and we can click in on the asset IP, which will take us to the assets page. For this particular IP, the all link will take us to the assets newly added assets page. We are showing the network exposure here with the risk scores, and then there is again the pagination present from where we can select how many we want to show at a particular time. That's it I have on the analyst landing page. Thank you.